King Media in association with Boxro, Anthony Crolla. We're at Katie Taylor, Chantal Cameron Fight Week. Anthony, before we get to this fight, I've got to mention, I saw a video come up recently, not video, a tweet. I think it was your brother making his debut on a matchroom show, and people assumed he was your son. Bearing in mind, like, he looked like 20 plus. That must have killed you, that.
It did, mate. It's hurt me, and I've had some stick over at the amount of people who think it's my son. And but no, listen, he looks well. He looks well, and I think for the first time in his life, he's in better shape than this. So that's pretty hard to take with an ego like mine. But no, he looks good, and he fights me the 27th on the Mauricio Lara Lee Wood undercard at the Manchester, at the AO Arena in Manchester. So it's a dream for him. I'm sure he'll be on, pretty early in the card. But yeah, he's putting the hard work.
Yeah, it's good to know, because when I saw the name Crolla, I'm like, it's a unique name that. It's got to be related to you, but I didn't think it would be your son. So, fight week, Katie Taylor, Chantal Cameron, both ladies are quite respectful. The expert opinion is this will be Katie Taylor's toughest fight, Chantal's size, etc. Break it down for us.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much with that. And it's hard because, you look at some of the fights. I was there for the Pursuit one. I was lucky enough to be in Madison Square Garden last year when she fought Madison Rano, and they was tough fights. So the fact this could be every bit as tough as them, Katie's in for a hard night. The fight, break it down, it's so hard to call, genuine, and I wouldn't be surprised if I got it wrong. I really believe it's going to be a fight of two halves. I believe Katie's going to build an early lead, and then Chantal's going to come on strong in the second half of the fight. It's just does Katie build up not too much of a lead, but a good enough lead to hold on. And when I hold on, I don't think Katie knows how to hold on like that. She'll fight it out. But I think we see some thrilling exchanges, especially late on, where I think a lot of Irish hearts will be in the mouth. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see how it can be a bad fight. I think it's a fantastic one.
Yeah, I think you broke it down nicely, because that's been the common trend with a lot of Katie's fights, where she's built up a big lead at the start. How do you stop that? Obviously, you've been in the ring. How does Chantal stop that from happening?
Chantal, how I think she that, and Jamie mentioned it there, and it's common sense, but it's not just pressure; it's educated pressure. Listen, they've got to minimise the success that Katie Taylor has early on. They've got to really minimise that success so the rounds are tight, so she's not giving rounds away, and that's what I believe she'll go out and set out to do.
Interesting stuff. And obviously on the undercard we've got Terry Harper. Terry's fighting Cecilia Brackhouse, but I want to talk about Terry. Obviously she's fighting Cecilia, who's 41 years old, but I spoke to Terry and Steffi, and they both still want to get that Tasha Jonas fight. Yes. Obviously you worked with Joe a long time. What is the problem here? Can it get made?
Listen, there's always a way, isn't there? But I said it a bit back. I never seen it. I never see it happening. I think one was with one promotion, one's with the other. There's a big stumbling block. Listen, we've seen that more. And it's James. It's a great fight, but I think there's also, Natasha Jonas. She feels there's certain politics on the side of it, and how she said she was promised a rematch, didn't get it. So I think she sort of feels like, no, now you need me, and it's I think it's a bit of that. And listen, I don't doubt Tasha would happily fight, as Terry would as well. And listen, I'm sure it'd be a great fight. The first fight was very good, but listen, I hate being negative, but I probably don't see it happening. But you never know.
Well, money does eventually talk, and Joe's been quite, straightforward, saying it's not going to happen, not going to happen. But surely if Terry wins and Tasha doesn't appear to have a fight scheduled as we speak.
You never know. Listen, if not, and depending what's lying there, like you just say, money does talk. So if there's a huge offer, I'm not sure, but obviously I think Joe's the man to ask there. He's Tash manager, and to be fair, he's done a good job with Tash, and what. It's like you say, obviously we're here today with Matchroom, but I know obviously Tash is very happy with the job that Boxer have done for her, and rightly so. So it's, I think that's always the big thing about, that'll be a big thing of where the fight would take place if it could get agreed.
I just want to get your opinion, Anton, a couple of other boxing matters. One of the ones is the WBC refusing to sanction, completely off subject, refusing to sanction Bivol fighting in any WBC title fight because obviously his Russian heritage. What do you make of that? Because we're looking at I always look at what people say online, and there's a lot of issues around the world outside boxing where boxing could jump in and go, right, because this country is doing that country over, when you're not going to fight. So is it fair that Russian fighters are missing out?
No, I don't think it is fair. I don't think it's fair at all. There's a lot of wrong that goes on in the world, and how can you tell me, like, listen, what's going on in the world? There's some terrible things that's going on, but I'm sure Dimitri Bivol hasn't had any kind of impact or decision or supported those kind of decisions. So how's he being punished? I don't get that. If you know, if you're going to punish him, you would have to you could look at other countries, what they do wrong. Listen, we all know, it's not me going all conspiracy, but we all know what the news is controlled. The media put out what they want to put out, and there's people very high up who get away with literally murder. So how are those people not punished? People from those places not punished? You know, I think there's good and there's bad people in the world from all walks of life, all countries. You know, say because of the way one country's president or ruler is acting doesn't make every person from that country a bad person.
Yeah, I think you put it quite eloquently there. And the other thing I want to speak to you about is Carl Froch has started his own YouTube channel and is coming out with some big opinions that are pissing people off. One of the main people he's gone after is Anthony Joshua. I don't know if these guys have got some beef with each other or whatever, but he's come out and said recently that he doesn't feel like he's going to leave much of a legacy behind, and basically saying he's mentally scarred from the Ruiz fight, etc. Just your opinion on the Ruiz fight, mental scar issues, and the fact that he's questioning his legacy.
Listen, I really like Carl. I think he's brilliant. I've been lucky enough to work alongside him. But I think that with Anthony Joshua will always have a legacy in the sense he was an Olympic gold medalist. He's inspired the next generation, so he'll certainly always have a generation. Listen, from the Ruiz fight, has it been the same ruthless Anthony Joshua? No, it's probably not. But then you've also got to look at who he's been in with. You know, it's just the skill set of Alexander Usyk is unbelievable. So if you can't imply that, you know, ruthless side of you, that's pretty understandable against a master boxer, because that's what Alexander Usyk is. So we'll see. And I think I've said it before, you don't know, because of, I know he's fought Jermaine Franklin the other week, but I still believe there's big nights out there for AJ, and there could still be some big wins for him. But obviously we would have to see a little bit of the old AJ back.
And talking of the old AJ back, would you suggest him and Fury just sit out till December, or you know, how important is it having activity before such a big event?
I think AJ, he was very vocal on making sure he was active, and he was going to enjoy being active. When we spoke to him before Jermaine Franklin fight, so I believe it is important that he fights in the summer. So I hope we get to see him in July, and then we get to see him out in December in the big ones that everyone's talking about.
Definitely so. Anthony Crolla, as always, appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon.
No worries. Thank you, man. Thank you.